Have we? Bigsound 2025, something a little bit different, more industry focused. I'm here with Sammie from Beehive Pr, celebrating 10 years.
Where's the time go?
I don't know. A lot
No
of
one knows.
emails.
So many emails.
Yeah. I guess, yeah, I don't know, man. Looking back, where did it all come from? What were you doing prior and how did you end up in?
I was so lucky. I was working at Mushroom at the time. I worked for Future Music for a number of seasons. Mushroom acquired them. And
Yeah.
then I went over to do a tour coordinator role at Premier Artists, which was awesome but deadly boring. And I was like so keen to do
Yeah.
something else and hassled the hell out of Frank until he let me do something else,
Yeah.
which was, okay, I'll give you some PR work to do. And then I'd done a little bit before for Global PR, who were amazing and gave me a first shot. And then, yeah, I started Beehive on the side with Frank's blessing and
And just picked it up from there.
just picked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's sort of evolved now because you don't just look after music entertainment as such, you look
Mm,
after sporting
yeah.
roles and
And comedians,
and
which is great.
comedians.
They're
Yeah.
just like content gold, which
Adam
is
was telling
awesome.
me about a comedian. That was a good one, that interaction. Yeah. Yeah.
We've had a few. They're so great on camera, but
Yeah.
also they're just like you can literally put them anywhere and they'll happily chat. They will run
Yeah.
the interview.
Of
Like
course.
it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, set
Yeah.
and forget.
And how does it diversify across those two elements? Like music is pretty like
Yeah.
straightforward, new record coming out, new single, whatever, going on tour, service that to media. But with something like I don't know, like a surfer
Yeah.
or a comedian, what does that landscape look
Comedy
like?
falls really in the same landscape because
Yeah.
you're talking to all the same editorial
Yeah.
journalists. So, with the newspapers, TV, radio, it's all the same people.
Yeah.
It's just generally crosses over to commercial radio a bit more
Yeah.
with the comedians, and which only a portion of our roster do for music. Surfers is completely different. That's
Yeah.
all just surf media, and it's really largely based on the imagery they
Yeah.
have. So we find the best success when we give the outlets, here's this great shot, like,
Yeah.
and then they are able to run something with it around that.
Yeah, and it'll lead to editorial as such.
Exactly.
And is
Yeah.
that what those, I guess in the sports world, their management are coming to you for essentially
No,
just that? Or
I
is
just
there
hit up a
other?
bunch of surfers that we loved and knew. I've worked with Button for a long time, and so it just worked out that we've done a bunch of stuff together, and then he's introduced me to a few, and we've worked with them through that.
Yeah.
But it's like the Wild West even more than music. There really aren't managers. It's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, the surf outlets were actually stoked to have a publicist in
Yeah.
between. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because I remember when you first mentioned that you were shifting into that, I was like, where do they what like
Mm.
what money do they have to sort of or what requirement, I guess, do they need to find that in their budget to,
Yeah.
to like spend on that? But then I guess there has to be someone communicating on their behalf anyway, type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when we worked with Vahini, it was during COVID and no one was doing much then because it was COVID. But she
Yeah.
had such great images in the bank being Tahiti based that her sponsors said she was a huge value asset to them
Yeah.
in that year because she was proactively in the media, whereas all their other surfers kind of went a little
Yeah.
bit quiet during
Yeah.
that time. So it was really good to bring her value and show her sponsors value in
Yeah.
that way, which was great. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I guess back to the sort of entertainment or music side of it, probably what's the biggest misconception do you think that a young artist will take? Like, I mean, we've been young artists, right?
Yeah.
And I remember when we first signed a PR, when Brett and I were just producers, DJing and touring and stuff. We finally got a publicist, and he was like, "Listen, man, like, don't quit your jobs. We're not going to get you on the front cover of Rolling Stone, but we're going to work."
We celebrate.
Yeah, we did. We went straight to the pub. We were like, we just spent 3.5 grand on a PR deal. Let's go and spend another $1,000 at the pub. But like, yeah, do you have that conversation with
Yeah,
those?
it's not an overnight success. Like that
Mm,
just doesn't happen. And I think, I mean, we were just at the conversation with Tash Sultana,
mm,
and even they talk about it where they're like, "Oh, it was an overnight success, but I had 20 years of
yeah,
leading up to that." And
yeah,
I think a lot of our artists we work with indies, we work with massive tour arena artists as well. But your first spin in Triple J
mm,
to potential feature album.
Yeah.
is a really long
It's a
time in
huge, yeah,
between. It's
yeah,
often years, and we've worked with several artists that we've got them their very first spin on Triple J,
yeah,
all the way up to like a version and feature
yeah,
album, and that was always a 2-3 year process. So
yeah,
I
of
think,
course,
yeah,
yeah,
I think it's really easy for anyone to look at someone else and be like, look what they've done, but it's like they don't see
yeah,
everything that went into it.
and exactly, and it's hard to, I guess, you have to deliver that scale of
Yeah,
success or value that, you know what I mean? Because you could
definitely.
probably get a heap of print or a heap
Yeah,
of online, and then some community radio play, which is quite a
yeah,
successful campaign,
yeah.
but then they're probably like going, "Oh, yeah, but what about,"
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
really like managing expectations is
Yeah,
a really big part of our job, and we really want to be transparent at all times so that
yeah,
before you like lock in, you're aware of what we think you will come out with on the
yeah,
other side, like before, and anything above it is great, you
yeah,
know? So it's really important in PR to build long term relationships, to be completely transparent,
yeah,
communicating during the campaign, even if that's a pass, because you can't get everything you want to sometimes. And
yeah,
sometimes we really think, God, this record deserves to get this spin
mm,
or this feature, and it's so good. And they've got all the stats, you know, like we've
mm,
taken in songs with billion streams, and sometimes it still doesn't get across the line, you know?
yeah,
And then we've taken in baby bands and it gets across
and
the
it just
line.
goes
And
nuts,
you're
yeah.
like, well,
Yeah,
you
what's
know,
happening
sometimes
here?
there's no rhyme or reason. And that's the great thing about the music
Yeah,
industry.
I guess. And do you feel like that? I guess on that note, do you think maybe you're just capturing these people at the right time
Yeah.
and the wrong time?
I don't think look, I think there is a right time to do PR. I think you can definitely do it too early, and we often tell people go away and do ABC first,
Yeah,
because then
yeah,
come back and you'll get more value
yeah,
out of us. But I think if you're going to do a PR campaign, you have to do it in the right time. Being, have you got new music? Are you working towards an album?
yeah,
Have you got a tour? Like, how can we actually maximize the
yeah,
coverage for you? And that's by having lots of things to touch on.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess, getting all your ducks in a row, as
I
Brett
was gonna
Sullivan
ask,
say.
actually put it in here. Like, do you ever come? How often is it that you come across someone that's like you see, like the absolute potential? You see how good the
Yeah.
music is, but they don't have those other avenues.
Ducks in a row.
Ducks in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's so wild. Like sometimes you work with people and the music is so damn good and they're so unorganized,
Yeah.
but the music just clicks.
Yeah.
Like, and until they find a great manager who sorts them out.
Yeah.
And other times it's really sad where you see someone who's so organized,
And then the
but
product
the
is,
music
yeah,
doesn't connect,
yeah,
you know? So it's like, it's one of those things. It's like, it is 100 million% about the music, you
yeah.
know? That's it.
It tells
Like,
the story.
that's
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
It has to be a good song.
Yeah.
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 Without that, there's like, you know?
It
Yeah.
is the music, and then you can only have a greater chance of success if all those other things are, yeah, lined up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess 10 years then,
Mm.
you've got an opportunity to sort of flex a bit. Who's been some of the stars, or what's been some of your favorite campaigns that you've sort of addressed? Because you've done like Duran Duran through
Yep.
to
Darren
Kingswood.
Hayes,
Yeah,
TLC was a good one. When
yeah,
we got that social media contract, I was
yeah.
like, yes, that was
That's
like, I
sick.
listened to you a lot. I think that was my first, I think Creep was my first ever album I
Yeah,
purchased. So that was like
yeah,
really nice to have that. But honestly, the baby bands that we've worked with and see them grow
yeah,
is honestly the biggest privilege,
yeah,
because like Psychedelic Porn Crumpets will always be my baby
yeah,
band, because we like, they were the ones we saw them go from like first spins on Triple J to this like huge success. And it was wonderful watching from this, like not at Glastonbury last year, but like being here and just being like,
yeah,
it's really kicking off at Glastonbury.
yeah.
These
That's
guys that, you
sick.
know, getting massive features overseas. They're a band that always put the music first,
Yeah,
always. Like they're just true musicians, and they just love life, you know,
yeah,
and it has paid huge dividends for them. And
yeah,
so it's honestly more our baby bands,
yeah,
seeing them grow
yeah.
and being part of that journey for years is really a privilege.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, Sammy, thank you for joining us. You're an
Nice to
absolute
be
superstar. We've worked together for a long time
10
now.
years.
Yeah, probably for the most
I've
part.
blown up your inbox for 10 years.
Yeah, and then, yeah, Beehive.
Yeah.
um, before we go though, we've been asking everyone. I think you would have seen us ask this yesterday.
Mm.
Sausage roll or meat pie?
Sausage roll.
There you go.
Oh, look,
Take
so
that,
I
Brett
was
Solwood.
gonna say, let's make this one whatever Sammy says, the winner, but I didn't. So meat pie still.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, look, it's a poll.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've had some interesting ones. We had the couple of the guys today were like scaling it. Yeah, meat pie, but it has to be it has bakery style from a country town.
Very specific.
Chloe Styler was like, oh, from only April till September. No,
I
I
mean,
can't eat a meat
I'm
pie
on board with
outside.
that.
Yeah,
Not in summer.
yeah,
She's a
no,
Queensland
no,
girl
yeah,
too.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, we get it.
no,
Yeah, I get it.
It's,
Yeah.
it's a time and a place.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, guys. Thank
Thank
you for coming
you.
by.
Thank you.